story as from this.
You're running full speed, but the markets are faster. Quasar Markets Live brings the world's top financial minds to you. Everything you need to know in one place. Learn from elite educators and gain a competitive edge, leveling the playing field for you. Join the conversation. Quasar Markets Live.
Good morning, Quasar Markets Live. Good morning, Big Beat. How you doing today, my man?
I'm good. You know, look, markets are still holding in there. I think we talked about it with several contributors yesterday that, that we're coming in the summer. Summer doldrums are coming in now. The volume is going down. And the VIX at 17, right? We've been talking about this forever. Watch the VIX. It'll tell you everything, what's going on in the world. And here we are right back up in the markets. Everything's, 2 months ago, the wailing and gnashing of teeth, and people were just, oh my goodness gracious, the world was going to end 2 months ago. And wow, you're absolutely right, Howard. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, we're within 2% of February peak on the S&P, 3% below December highs on the NASDAQ. So, we've seemed to be back at where we started. Question is, do we have enough strength to get through this? Would be my question, because we got, like it says in the S&P, we got to the same level a couple of months ago, even after January 20th, after the inauguration, after everything. Do you think we now have is tweet analysis finally going to start going to the back?
Yeah, 2 months ago when that wailing and gnashing of teeth happened, I said it then, capitulation has happened, folks. There was a lot of backlash. Oh, this thing could go farther down. The world's ending tomorrow. The path of least resistance 2 months ago was what? To the upside. There was it already happened. But right now, I'm saying the same thing that I've said for the last week. The path of least resistance is not to the upside. Right now, there's a lot of FOMO going on. Oh, the fear of missing out, this new high. Oh, we're going higher. We could have a break. I heard breakout. I haven't heard that in a while. Breakout tops. That's an old saying that I heard from Peter Thomas. He was like, yeah, we're going back to breakout tops on gold. Okay, great. If breakout tops on gold means stocks aren't going higher, right? That means the world's still high, still a problem. Now, I understand that 80% of this move is retail. We heard that from Kevin Green yesterday from Schwab Network saying that he thinks that about 80% is definitely a move because of this zero DTEs, because of options. Again, I've said this over and over again. I agree with him 100%. This thing has really told me the story that they're ignoring the issues in Japan and Taiwan, the issues in Ukraine, the issues in China, I mean, you name it, the issues everywhere right now, the issues in LA. Is too much, right? For us to say the world is so fine and okay, and we're going to go higher and higher and higher. The thing I really want, the catalyst that I keep asking everybody to tell me about, there was no one specific catalyst, right? I think, well, maybe CPI on Wednesday, maybe this, maybe that. You know what my catalyst was yesterday? Was WWDC, the Worldwide Developer Conference. And I did not see Apple give me something. Look at that. You already got it ready to go. Yes, Liquid Glass, iOS 26. Why are they calling it 26? Because it's the date, and they didn't even get to 25. They're just skipping it for a year. Okay, I feel like I'm in a car now. No AI. And not only was there no AI, Howard, they said AI is terrible. They don't like AI. Well, I guess if we can't do it, might as well poo-poo it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see that when they said they don't like AI. I saw where they said that the AI wasn't up to their standard. Their AI themselves wasn't up to their standards. They didn't want to release a bad version because they got, and I think that they at least learned from their mistake, right?
Yes,
they released that supposed AI intelligence, and it was not very, as you said, it was the least intelligent thing on your Apple phone. As I believe was the quote from Big Beat. So I think they wanted to avoid that mistake there. But yeah, I mean, definitely nothing. And here's where I'd say it wasn't our number one headline, and it wasn't even in the top 10 of what I had, quite honestly. It was down to the bottom of mine. Usually that is the biggest day of the year, right? I mean, investors used to sit around, myself included, and watch everything Tim Cook and everybody said. That's why I found Render one of my favorite crypto projects, RNDR, because he was on there and they partnered with them. And, you would find those things. Nobody even cares.
Nobody even cares. That's crazy. Nobody even cares.
It really is to me. This is Apple we're talking about. And I'll take it a different way, because this is what I sort of noticed that I didn't even realize. Microsoft hit another record close on Monday. They quietly just keep doing their thing and moving up and moving up. You talked about it with the Mooch, Anthony Scaramucci, and the money that he's able to give his kids because he forgot about an account that had Microsoft. It is that, and you were not a big fan because I brought it up, right? When everything was down on the Mag 7.
Yeah.
It's the one, though, that I just have to laugh that just kind of, when it comes to tech, no one's excited about anything they do, but they do what they do well.
I will say this much. As a person who spends a lot of money on Microsoft, whether that's Office for the company, or and I have Xbox in my house, right? I found something that I did like. I like their ability to their X Game. You and I have it, X Pass, the Game Pass that we can put on everything. And they've also moved it now. Now Microsoft has a new handheld now for Xbox coming out. That's a game changer, right? You saw this with Nintendo with the Switch 2, which is the biggest sold out console in history. And they can't even keep it in stock. I was in Best Buy to see just something else. And I said, well, do you even have a Switch 2? No, we don't. But we're going to get one next week. We're going to have some next week. Okay, so there's not the shortage that
I don't know. They might be lying to you. I just put a headline up because it was interesting. I know you are Mr. Switch. And I saw Market Watch of all places was covering the Switch today. 15 million units already pre-ordered, sold out, they're saying. So it will be interesting to see if that's really the case. Because, I used to always say that, in the old days when they would say the Xbox sold out or whatever, and I had a buddy that worked at Best Buy, they'd be like, no, it's not. We've got packages. We're only allowed to put X amount out a day on the shelves. They're all, sort of caged it up, and, these 12 are Mondays and these 15 are Tuesdays. So I wonder, I don't have any friends that work in that industry anymore to know whether or not on a channel check is true or not.
Talking to them, they were like, no, we don't have anything. There is one company in Lakeland, which is it's kind of far from me. It's like near Orlando, like an hour away. Oh, they had
You're just going to go see it, folks. They live that way. I know better.
Yeah. But I will say that, if you're looking at the future of gaming, is it still consoles? Is it still handhelds? I think it is. But I also found the one where the Game Pass can fit on your cell phone, and you can attach one to your cell phone. I know that there's one called Rogo out there, and Asus has one.
There's a couple that they don't work that great. I tried a couple of the early ones. I shouldn't say that they still don't, because I haven't tried one in a few years. But I tried a couple. They just didn't have it. But yeah, it's moving that way. I have to ask you then, does this mean the Oculus, what's happening there?
I've got mine right beside me.
In this world. No, mine's over here, but I don't use as much. I'm wondering if the Switch and if a Microsoft Xbox, which one wins that battle, right? That's what we need to find out.
Neither one. I'll tell you right now who wins. And it's literally, if Apple can get this right, the new Vision Pro they're working on now. Listen, I just watched Major League Baseball game in my Vision Pro, and I will tell you, it is incredible. You are in the game. You see, if you watch a baseball game and you see like the stats, it's stats constantly. It's watching the pitch come in. It's seeing every player on the field as a person in a robot look. But you see where they are on the field. You see where the ball is being thrown. You know how the game, and you're in the game, and you can watch the game from a TV perspective while being in the game. That's the future, right? Spatial. That is the future. And we'll be living in that soon. While in 1985, as a kid, seeing other kids in glasses, we made fun of them, right? Today, all of us wear glasses. We're the bully side of all of us are hopefully not there anymore. But we will live in a world that wearables will be what we do. We will have wearables. We went through the whole smartphone. We went through let's have a big old phone attached to our head, to the little bitty phones, to the smartphones today. We talked about this last week too as well. That's the future, and I'm already betting on that future. I think the wearables are the key. I like the Ray-Ban side of Luxottica is the company. I like that idea a lot, and I think wearables are going to be the key. And it's not wearables as in some big heavy thing on your head. It's going to be where it's cool to wear it, right? There's going to be a Johnny Ives kind of side of this. We're already seeing that, right? That Johnny Ives started his own company where the wearables will be a thing, and they want to make sure that it's aesthetically viable. So yeah,
I love it. Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's great. Steve, trade talks, we can't go far without talking about that. Commerce Secretary Lutnick said that they're progressing, talked all day yesterday, going to talk all day today. Are you expecting to get any news out of it, or you think it's just going to be talk for the sake of talking?
Well, before we say that, I just want to say Jim Cramer just tweeted Disney now. Does that really hurt Disney stock price? We'll keep our eye on it. I hope not, because I like Disney a lot. And that was under 100 many. Now it's at 115.66. Howard Lutnick talking about trade talks. All right. Are we not sick of trade talks yet? Are we not sick of tariffs? They can't get it done. They're having a hard time doing it. President Trump, I can get it done if I'm elected. And Trump now, China's tough negotiator. We don't know how to do this, right? Oh, we're going to go to London and talk to London. Oh, we're going to invite them to D.C. Oh, we're going to go to China. We've been invited to China. That's great. But the talks progress. Is it 150% tariffs on these things? What's going on here? Stop the nonsense. We as humans, especially humans on this planet that love tech, we talk about all the time, that's where it's come from. We know that each country has their own things that they have that we need. That's why we have trade. They have rare earths. We cannot, as a country, afford to not get the rare earths. We have to have them, because if they don't have them, we can't build the new technology things. Sorry, you want to be a manufacturing country? Great, but you still need molybdenum. You still need some of these things that we have. And molybdenum is very aluminum. My goodness. We're about to put gutters in our house. The guy said, well, these are the prices today, but aluminum prices may go up tomorrow. They're not. They're going to go down. But they don't even know. You can't run a business not knowing what your prices are. So this is not good. We need to fix this and fix it fast.
Yeah, I can't argue with that in any way, Steve. And then getting to the other side, vaccine makers, Moderna, Pfizer dipping here as RFK Jr. has replaced all 17 members of the CDC vaccine expert panel.
All right. So his comment that I thought was interesting is that every one of those members of that board have their fingers in a company. I agree with him on this, that there should be absolutely no reason. Your health as a human should be based on what your doctor says. Your doctor says you need this med. Insurance companies should not be dictating to us. It happened to my own life, right? Why? Because they cut a deal with another company that makes not right. But telling a doctor to tell us that vaccines don't work is stupid, and I'm gonna tell you that right now. And I sent money to RFK Jr. to run for president, so I don't want to hear that. Oh, you're not a Republican, you're not a Democrat, you're not a whatever. I believe in what needs to happen. This is absolute nonsense. Policy shift to have a country that we live in with no vaccines, and are you absolutely crazy? I don't want to live in a world that I have to worry about if somebody has smallpox. Things have been eradicated. We're not Africa, right? We're not Ebola prone. Yes, I want to have my MMRs. Yes, that's why we have these vaccines. We don't get them. We had a president in the chair because of polio. It's been eradicated. We don't have polio anymore, right? Why? This is absolute nonsense. And hopefully he fixes this problem by replacing those members with people that believe in vaccines. If he doesn't, then I think I'm calling for his head needs to roll for this one. This is absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, again, I want to see who he puts in place personally. If they are people, are they doctors? Are they people? Again, I don't want to see cronies.
Please, God, please say no. Look.
Yeah. As long as they're apolitical, and that's the case, and because I do agree with you where there was probably too much cross current there, and you had people that were that income and all money was based upon the rules, regulations, and things like that. And we don't want that.
Yes, all 17 of them are doing it.
Yeah, that's where I get. I just don't know enough, and I want to see who he puts in place. Steve, Paramount, we continue to see, cable and streaming at the headlines. Paramount has cut 3.5% of their U.S. staff as the merger with Skydance seems to be coming closer to completion here. Any views on any of these companies? Because we're going to keep going because it goes right to Disney pays Comcast $487 million. They're taking control of Hulu. Yeah, so all this stuff, all these combinations are all breaking up again. So a year ago, 2 years ago, we needed a sports streaming service that was a combination of things, and we had Hulu that had things put together, and now we're back to 87 different of them.
I will say that we've talked about this forever, right? That I want the a la carte version. That's what we've always said that works, right? I don't want this. I want this. I don't want horror. I want this. I want that. That's the way it should be. I love the fact that Disney's getting Comcast out of the Hulu fingers out of it. So now Disney and Hulu can be together. That expands their whole repertoire. They can now put it on ABC. Disney already owns ABC, right? So this is really, really good. It increases them, but I don't want to. But if Disney raises the price of Hulu, or right now they're combining it, right? If you get Disney, you have Hulu and all that. But if they do all this, I think it's great. I like it a lot. This is a good deal.
I'll be on the other side of that one, just because I'm sick of I actually like Disney because I got my NBC with it along with ABC, so it gave me a few things. Now I just have to start to manage it versus do I want Peacock? Do I want this? Do I want that? It just becomes more.
I like Peacock. I have Peacock. Almost everything, but
and I do too. And I was trying to stop that. Though. That's the whole problem. I like a little bit of easy-ness to it or something. But yeah, Steve, another one here. TSMC, man, killing it, 40% year over year. But it's not moving the chips sector very much today. I'm a little surprised. I mean, they're up 2.27%, but normally when the second or third largest chip producer has such great earnings and everything else. So does this tell you everything you need to know about China and Taiwan and what's going on there?
It's interesting. Apple said it yesterday that starting next year, there will not be one Intel chip set inside of them. There'll be the M2. they're going to get rid of not an iPad, not anything will have Intel into it as well. We know the president is saying manufacturing, build it at home, all these things, right? With Taiwan Semi, they have a U.S. connection here, right? That this could be good. But the world is now turning away from Intel almost completely now, as Apple is now turned away from them too, which is built right in Vietnam and built in South Korea and these countries. Taiwan Semi will do very, very well. And Taiwan Semi will also be in these TVs, will be in phones. So Taiwan Semi makes great chipsets. I expect them to continue to do well, especially as the world turns away from the United States. So in doing so, yes, Taiwan Semi is the big. Think of Taiwan Semi as the only company really that making good semiconductors outside the United States. So, yeah,
awesome. Yeah, I agree there fully with that. One that you've been all over, Steve, McDonald's third downgrade, and the big part of the downgrade, I actually read it from Redburn, was GP1 drugs.
Oh, wow. They really come up with that now? That's great. I appreciate that. We've been talking about this for over a year now, right? We knew this. We knew that the prices, these companies were going to go down. It's not hard to understand this, right? I wanted to bring that news and data to everybody before it happened. That's why we built Quasar Markets, by the way.
Absolutely.
If you don't know, by the way, QuasarMarkets.com, the new website's up and running. Go check it out and go sign up for an account. But we knew about this a long time ago, right? We talked about weight loss drugs. We already knew this was going to happen. It's going to get even worse for McDonald's unless they change their menus. You can't sell salads all day long out of it. Their bread and butter is literally bread and butter, slapping a little bit of meat in between it. I don't know what. But I like the taste of McDonald's. Not bad. I mean, it's not good for you, right? It's in moderation. But people aren't going to McDonald's anymore. They're just not. They're just not going.
Well, it's funny. I wonder if do they turn heel, so to speak? And what I mean by that is what I've seen is companies like Shake Shack and some of these others that have said, "Hey, we're getting out of the seed oil business and we're going back into beef tallow as the fat we're going to fry things in because it's got good flavor and there is almost no difference than doing it in the seed oils." Does McDonald's go the other way and say, because we've seen this in the past for some companies, you get an inflection point. Can we compete with Sweet Green and, the salad companies as McDonald's? They tried that with those shakeups and stuff. And it didn't go really well. Do you say, hey, I'm going to get, do we see them go the opposite way and make crazier burgers and crazier sandwiches with, toppings with taco, Doritos and things like that?
Well, when you talk about palm oil in general, and if you don't know, it's the biggest market in the world, by the way, because why? Because we all eat, and it's out of Malaysia. So most people don't know that it is literally palm oil. You're right. You just said seed oil, right? That seed oil is where it comes from, right? Why do they use it? Because it's cheap. It's very, very, very cheap, and it's cheap to make the seeds. It's cheap to make the plants. Cheap to everything to integrate it. It's cheap to get it, to deliver it. It's cheap for what we call carry trade. All of that's cheap. That's why they use it, right? Beef tallow is not cheap. It's expensive. But when you look at it from the weight loss side of things, palm oil is very fattening, and they know that, right?
But the other part of that is palm oil has gone through the roof, and fry oil has gone through the roof. So that's the other part. It's almost like looking at a gold-silver ratio. If you look at the tallow to seed oil ratio, it's probably the closest it's been in years because, as you mentioned, very highly. Number one, Malaysia used it they had a shortage, and they held on to almost all their palm oil last year. Which caused a big increase. And we have plenty of corn oil and soybean oils, especially here in the U.S., where they're subsidized to do so.
There might be a mixture, right? Palm oil, corn oil.
They do use they use a mixture for most fry oils to keep it inexpensive, flash points as high as possible, because the flash points in a lot of seed oils where they start to burn is very low, and you need a high one, which is where beef tallow exceeds most things.
And I agree
the beef tallow also lasts significantly longer because it has such a high flash point on it.
Bob Iger just said right now Disney is not looking for another place to put another Disney World. Middle East is where they were. Abu Dhabi, they decided that a long time ago. I'm reading it now. They're not going to move. I agree with that. Disney needs to focus on what Disney does well. A Tesla at $315 here, share, brother.
Yeah, man, you are all over that. Tesla jumped up nicely, it continues. So Musk, don't fade the Musk, I always say. I did not trade it one way or the other. But yeah, you can't argue with how it's moving up. You think it's, it just broke above that 200-day MA. Is it going to stay above it, that 307 level?
I'm not in it, so I can't tell you the answer to that. We took our money, I made a mistake. I probably should have stayed right into it, not done anything, right? Because I had a lot of shares. But yeah, I mean, I think that sell-off due to the spat is over, and I think he's back to work, right? I think that they'll make up eventually. I think it's gonna take a little time, but I think he was mad about the EV stuff, right? The EV tax, the break, and we're just hearing Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, now says the Pentagon needs $62 billion to modernize our nuclear weapons.
That's not going to balance any budgets.
Yeah, that's going to be hard on the balanced budget. Yeah. Put that up.
Well, China-U.S. trade talks can continue after the lunch break. That's good to know. Yeah, Tesla, man, nice move up, continue to move to the upside. Your Nvidia too, climbing up still here, 142.63. Do you think that can start to break back above to the upside here? This sort of seems to be its key resistance area in this one.
I think we need to see more with Nvidia right now. It is the wealthiest company in the world now. Again, he broke one. Well done, Jensen. But the path of least resistance to Nvidia is
it's not. Microsoft 3.51. Remember, it said it all.
Microsoft again. Yeah, there's a big.
I didn't mean to call you out, but I had to check that one just because I knew that Microsoft hit an all-time high last night.
Look, they're all right there, right? They're all right in the middle. Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, they're all tit for tat. One's higher than depending on the stock price of the day. Are they worth $3.5 trillion? No. I'm sorry, it's just not. It's over. They're all overbought, and if you put it up against history, it's too high right now. Show me the earnings season coming up, then I'll tell you yes or no. But yeah, good morning, Ron. How are you, man? Any stocks you're looking at this morning?
Hey, Ron, what's going on, my friend? So far, we are about 2 minutes from the open, pretty muted right now, almost flat. We rounded up slowly yesterday. What do you think we see today? I think we're sort of in for the same type of play. I don't see a ton of volatility coming today.
Real quickly, Biger says that Disney will they'll probably stop disclosing subscriber members at some point. We've already certainly considered it already. I think we don't really need to know subscriber numbers. I think what we need to see on a daily basis is the cost of the mix. All right, go ahead. What were you saying there, Hondo?
Just asking, yesterday we grinded up throughout most of the day, ended up a little bit over 75, almost 3/4 of a point on the Qs, half a point on the SPY. Do you think we're looking at the same type of thing?
Solid day.
Muted volume?
Chop. We're going to, how it goes. Yeah. Yeah. Very quiet day in the markets. Yeah.
Yeah. Tomorrow we have our big economic data for the week. Hey, another one I saw here, Steve. Uber was moving up nicely here this morning on the fact that they are going to start testing some autonomous driving cars in London.
Waymo. Yeah.
Wave, not Waymo.
Wave. Oh, it is Wave. Okay, very good.
Wave, the UK company.
All right. Well, look at that. Yeah, I like that. I mean, look, it's just a matter of time before the whole world goes to autonomous cars. Drivers will be a thing of the past. Robots are coming. I don't know how else to tell people this. When people say, "Oh, there's no way," they're gonna. Oh, cars won't drive themselves. Well, not only will they drive themselves, you'll be happy to order somebody without a driver that stinks, or a driver that's just had lunch and you smell their McDonald's in the car, or one that you don't like. You don't like the person, but you may. I don't know. But people are private people, right? When they order a car, they just want to get to where they want to go. They don't want to have conversations. Some of them do, I guess, but they just want to get where they are. And you see that there's even a problem that sometimes at Uber even have to put cameras in their cars because people are Bad people. The market's open
Yeah.
right now. A little bit of profit.
Absolutely. The market is open. First move was to the upside here. Tick is pretty flat on the day. Advanced decline at about 3,100. So we are opening up a little bit in the green. Qs opened up right about 531.50 in that zone, 531.45 right now. So we are seeing a little bit of chop, but not too much. I see Dow Jones opening up down slightly, and small caps again leading the day here, up about a 0.5 percentage point so far. Gold with a jump here this morning too, back up to 33.46, challenging that 33.50 level. This is the key resistance it's had here over the last couple of days, so keeping an eye on gold here. Bitcoin at 109.666. Did see a little bit of what looked to be a bull trap. It might be a breakout on some of the alts here this morning. About 7 a.m., most of the alts shot up while Bitcoin stayed very sort of neutral. So
yeah, Novo Nordisk
see what we get.
Almost 3.5% here. McDonald's still getting pretty much beaten up here. But McDonald's
Tesla at 314.90, trying to challenge 315 here, up almost 2% here again today. Do see a pullback on Nvidia back down to that 142 level. And Microsoft, like we said, a little bit of profit taking after reaching an all-time high last night. So Mag 7 is definitely a mixed group right now, and that's what we're seeing across most things here. It is a mixed bag this morning. Did see, Steve, we have some bond auctions today. The 2-year, which is not a huge one, I believe is later this afternoon, followed by the 10 and 30 later this week. Those will give us a much better gauge.
I'm actually going short McDonald's here. I think that the selling here is going to be. It could pick up here a little bit on this. I've shorted McDonald's here. We'll see if I'm right.
Let's share my screen here. Give me 1 second to pull that up.
Because I agree with this short. I mean, it's just.
Okay, Steve shorting a little bit of the Mickey D's here this morning, so I'll hold off on ordering my Egg McMuffins this week. Okay.
You can order Egg McMuffin. I don't care. Go ahead.
I'm just kidding. Not a huge.
I am still shorting a little bit more McDonald's here. I think this might sell off.
Dixie back below 99 here, Steve. So far also doesn't seem like the dollar's rising on the news of these tariffs or lack of news coming out of there, huh?
Nope.
Ron pointed out CELH pushing up. CELH.
Okay. Yep. Makes sense.
Celsius Holdings. I wonder if that's on. I mean, they were getting acquired, weren't they? Celsius, I thought, was being acquired by someone. Oh, no. Celsius bought that other one, Avanti, that my wife likes. Avani, one of those. I'm not good in these energy drinks.
A little bit of slippage there in the Bitcoin, just a little bit. Seeing the Nasdaq slipping too as well here a little bit.
Whoa, SharpLink Gaming up 18% here. So that Ethereum treasury company who has been taking a beating here over the last several days after their IPO, actually moving up big today here. Short squeezing a little bit up, 23, 24. That's definitely a short squeeze here. People on the other side of that one. Look at that move. 24, 25%. I am not chasing that. I don't necessarily think that company has a great.
Not chasing today. Not. This is not a day to chase here. The World Bank just cut the global forecast for 2025 by 0.4%. Wow, it's just continuing to.
37.15. Wow, CBET just taking off here. Steve did want to mention. I had it earlier for you. Where's my banners? You got any interest tomorrow? Voyager Technologies, not to be confused with the terrible exchange that went bankrupt, but a space company looking to hit an IPO on the New York Stock Exchange.
Space. We've been talking about it for how long? Lunar and all those companies, ASTS. I mean, we're going to go to space. I mean, there is an interesting concept here with SpaceX, with Dragon. And if the Musk-Trump thing continues, they'll have to look for other places. These are places that they'll go to in order to build. But right now, Musk said himself, I'm the only one that has the machines to do it. So what are you going to do? He's right. They had the machines.
You see Q's now almost neutral on the day, so we're seeing a little bit of a slide here across everything. Bitcoin, as you said, slid down a couple of $100. Not too bad there after the big gains they made yesterday. What continues to move up also, Steve, is oil.
Yep. Agreed.
So I was just looking for the information. So what Voyager's completed over 2,000 missions for commercial, civil, national security, and nonprofit clients across 35 countries. Its flagship product is Starlab, a commercial space station developed with Airbus, Mitsubishi, MDA Space, and Palantir, aimed at seeding the International Space Station by 2029. It had a $2.8 to $3.3 billion development cost. And NASA is Voyager's largest customer, responsible for 25.6% of their revenue. They were just awarded a $217 million contract there also. I didn't realize they were partnered with Palantir so much. That's interesting. It says Voyager's partnership with Palantir for AI integration, Airbus and Lockheed Martin supporting the U.S. Missile Defense Agency's next generation interceptor, position it to benefit from national security and initiatives like President Trump's $175 billion Golden Dome missile defense. So it looks like a much different, than SpaceX, and that this is actually looking to partner and be sort of on the forefront of the defense side of space.
Silver 36.65 here.
Advanced decline's been negative here, down about 500. It was up about 3,300. Now at 25.
Could see another drop here. McDonald's right now. There's about the drop here. Bitcoin still slipping a little bit, huh?
It's sitting right around that 109. As long as it's up there, it's still very positive right now so far. DraftKings big move up here in the cash open, up now 2.21%. They weren't part of the early morning movers. Steve, another one of your favorites, and I know our boy Aaron Scherz's favorite, Academy Sports.
Yeah.
They revised their 2025 outlook, and they are moving up nicely. They were up 2.09%.
People are going outside and playing around.
Now up about 6% here. So yeah, they definitely looking good. I'm trying to find my notes. I do remember off the top of my head, they're about to open 70 restaurants, 70 stores, I believe it is, over the next year. Here it is. Growth initiatives. 20 to 25 stores in 2025. It was a 7% growth increase that I remembered. So interesting there, moving to your area in Florida, and into Virginia, where I had not really seen them a lot when I lived in the DC area. So looks like they are planning to move there. And their goal is to exceed 300 stores in 21 states. Nice move up there. They mentioned, Steve, I did notice in theirs too, they mentioned their partnership with Nike and Jordan brands as being, I'm trying to find the exact wording here. Here it is. Strategic moves, including a Nike Jordan brand expansion, has also fueled um, their in-store growth. They said so, as you talked about. Interesting one that more a channel check on DoorDash. DoorDash partnership offers demand delivery from 285 stores. I've noticed that DoorDash is moving more and more into that Instacart world of retail there. It's interesting there for those that follow DoorDash. Pretty smart by them when you think about it. Like you said, if people's eating habits are getting healthier and less takeout food, DoorDash pivoting a little bit to providing those services could help. As we've seen, that last mile has been, tough for Amazon and some of the others to figure out recently, as prices, as FedEx and UPS said, hey, we can't afford to do it at the low prices. In fact, UPS gave up that business, right?
Right.
Or FedEx gave up that business.
FedEx, yeah.
I don't see if there's any laggards here.
It's a pretty quiet day, though.
Yeah, not a ton moving on. Smucker's got hit. Or I also today, Steve, I had that in the morning notes here too.
I just had some jelly yesterday, right? I think that I think Smucker's is one of those companies that just sticks around, right? It's one of those
stick around, and the problem is very, very much into the stuff like you said that people are trying to avoid sugary sweets and things like that. Is where they tend to do most of their business. I am a big fan of jelly and jams myself. Nothing better than a good peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yum yum.
Whenever you're having a bad day, nothing feels better than a little peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Tick has picked up here, so we are seeing buyers come back into the market so far. Advanced decline sticking right around that 2,700. Does look like Bitcoin trying to pull back a little bit here. It breaks through its support right here at 109 or so. It's got downside back to 107.
I was talking about SMCI. They're pulling back. Yeah, I mean, it's wow. We're looking at this. Looking at Bitcoin here, about to break the 109,000 here.
As I just said, if it breaks below this area here, about 108,750, watch out for a flush back down to that 107 level.
Okay.
Holding so far, but doesn't look very strong.
Yeah, McDonald's just cannot hold up there. We might see a drop here now. No, maybe not.
There goes the flush. So we're seeing the liquidations on Bitcoin take it to the downside.
Yeah, market is the flush. You can't push it up, then what do you do, right?
Yeah.
It's the path of least resistance.
It is on a lot of things right now, like you said, and we definitely don't have enough strength in the general market to move it up.
We do not.
Weird how the VIX though just keeps seeing pegged. So it shows it's one-way direction, really, right? Like
remember that this, with low volatility, obviously the spreads are getting bigger and bigger and wider. So, that tells you everything too. Yeah, Market Shark's right. Profit taking, I agree with it, and it needs to be some profit taking. I mean, especially in Bitcoin. I mean, we had a nice little run there. Come on, McDonald's, keep selling off here. We had a nice run there, so I totally agree with this. I'm not always a bull. I've been a bull the last couple of months, and I've been right. I'm turning bearish now. I will be, if you don't know, I will be not here the next couple of days. Mr. Howard Greenberg will be handling the helm. I will be in New York. You can catch me at 11 o'clock on Thursday on Schwab Network. I'll be live from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange.
We are holding up right at this 109 here, so Bitcoin holding right up there, but not much. Like I said, the alts were showing more strength, but we've seen a retracement there too. said earlier this morning, looked
Oil
like a little bit of a bull trap here this morning.
As Putin's getting a little bit squirrely over there about oil. Here you go, 109 right on the dot almost.
Yeah, it's dropping back down and just keeps on holding. It's not going to hold forever there. It looks like we want to slide to the downside here on Bitcoin. Like I said, it wouldn't surprise me to see a fairly significant drop here today if we start to see these liquidations hit.
I am in the money of Mickey D's now.
Nice.
I still stay short. I'm not gonna take any profit. I'm just gonna keep going and stay short. I think that there's just too much going on there. There you go. Keep dropping there. There's no buyers right now in Mickey D's. Yep, there you go. Continue selling. And then we just lost 109 now.
Very muted. Tick is very muted here.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to go back to putting tick back up on my screen as I had gold silver ratio for a while. I think we already know what's going on there, right? So.
We're seeing Ethereum hold up a little better here at that 27 area. Brown & Brown in the news today. They were up pretty nicely this morning after announcement that they're going to buy Accession Risk Management Group for $9.8 billion. So financial services for firms partnering up here. Q still holding up. This 531.50 area has been pretty strong here so far, holding up.
They're waiting on CPI, I think. Yeah. I think people are nervous about CPI tomorrow, inflation.
Bitcoin regained 109. So bulls aren't able, like you said, chop, 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 chop.
Yeah. Throw some carrots in there.
See much going on. Getting back below 109, so seeing most of the Chinese names get hit here that were moving up yesterday. Baba now down about 74 basis points.
And as every day on London, you know, with no deal, it's going to get worse and worse for Chinese names. So, yeah.
And Baidu, all of them seem to be moving down. Yesterday was an update for all of them. Looks like today could be a down day across most of them. Robinhood bouncing back pretty well here today, up about 70 basis points. Actually finished up positive yesterday, too. So that dip got bought right back up, dropped down to 68, now back at that 73 level, 74 level, approaching going back towards its all-time high. People definitely took advantage of buying that dip. Saw that on AppLovin also was one of the biggest pre-movers to the upside, up about 2.67. So that news about the S&P not including those two companies, well, it hurt them a little bit yesterday. Both of them bouncing back nicely here.
Yep. Because the question mark now is, will they put them in next time? Palantir, Ron talking about Palantir pulling back here. Yeah, exactly. I agree, Ron. Profit taking is happening everywhere. Market Shark is right, and I agree with the profit taking. There's nothing wrong with taking a profit. I mean, I'm not bullish anymore. It's okay.
Not seeing a huge move there. Let's see what's going to do. Tell you what's moving down today, what's moving up again today. MTSR now up 20% out of nowhere. Yesterday, they were one of the big gainers we talked about in the morning. Again, one of the companies that looks to benefit the most from the Amelin. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, look at that God candle over the last hour from 31 to 36. Big move up here, up 20% now today. I mean, this stock's been on fire. This stock's up year to date 43%. Over the last month, 49%. Metsera. Now up even more is the Insmed. I don't even know who they are. INSMED. INSM out of nowhere just went up 26%. Whoa, look at that move. Good Lord. What is that news? Oh, look at that. So Rivals Insmed's phase 2B PAH trial meets its endpoints. And it has them
Yeah, they're
skyrocketing.
going to have the FDA module here this week. So exciting stuff.
Wow, what a move up by them.
Took up by
here. Guess Quantum Computer's not dead either. QUBT up 17.65%. Steve, here's one that I didn't have on my list here. Casey General Store had some great earnings. For those that don't know, there was a convenience store slash gas stations. I was a little surprised by that. They crushed it. And now up over 10%, now up 15%, another 5% since the cash open here.
I haven't been to a Casey's in years.
One of them just opened up in where I live. I live in farm country, which is where they do well, I believe. I haven't been over to it yet, but it is. Steve, Ron, which one are you talking about? Casey is CASY. If you are asking about the quantum stock, it was Qubit, QUBT. And if you were asking about the health company, it was INSM. So again,
quiet day. I like quiet days though. Gives us a break a little bit sometimes. Tick slipping a bit here. There we go. Ticked only at 54 now. So
INSM, Ron. INSM. Insmed. Bitcoin back above 109, so bounced. They tried. So that was tried to liquidate it. Move back above the 200 MA on the hourly. So I like to see that. Yeah, not a ton really going on here, Steve.
No, there's not.
Not a ton at all. You watching anything else here, Steve? I don't see anything that I'm all that excited about right now.
Yeah, I mean, my eye is still on Tesla as it's circling around that 314, 315 area. As you know, I'm still short McDonald's here.
Trying to break through VWAP here. You could start to see it move through that 314 if it breaks that 314.50.
Back to the downside.
Trying to do it. Steve, just seeing that BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF is now the fastest growing ETF of all time.
And that's good. I think BlackRock's doing a good job over there. I think that they're doing the right thing. They created good ETFs, quality stuff. I like it.
I also see that about 100,000, $2 billion worth of ETH shorts would get liquidated at 3,000. So you could see an attempted short squeeze here, seeing rumors here on crypto Twitter that you could see that. I don't know. It'd be tough to see that move, but wow.
It would take a lot to do that, though. But yes.
Yeah, $300 for that move to happen would be pretty significant. But it's made a couple of runs to 2,800. It's trying to make its positive move. We've seen a lot of negative sort of positions over the last few years.
Oil still pushing a little bit here.
I see Walter Bloomberg now covering what I said to you earlier. ChatGPT is down for a lot of users.
Yeah.
Down for me here in the Midwest.
Let me check.
Tick's gone back positive here. Q, though, still, we can't seem to break this 531.55 area there, Steve. There's just not a ton going on here right now.
No, there's not. Yeah, ChatGPT is down for me as well.
Q's just broke back above 531.50, so trying to start to use that VWAP as maybe a little bit of support here.
Yeah, Tesla 316 here. I let's keep my eye on Tesla between that 316, 314. That's where it's been bouncing around. And it's surprising that with Tesla, yeah, close those short position. I'm not short Ethereum. I will never short crypto like that. That's just silly. Yeah.
There you go.
We'll post that up there for everybody to see. There you go, Mark Shark. Donald's really just quiet there, not really moving either way.
Just sitting.
Yeah, I think people are not sure yet.
They're trying to digest the news. Didn't. Yeah, 371. Trying to break to the downside. I mean, the key part is in that short-term chart, it's not able to break through VWAP, so it's still going to be negative.
If it breaks the VWAP, then down it goes. Now, I do have a buyback order in, so don't think I'm going long-term short here. I'm just going to try to take some profit off here.
Trying to break down here.
It will.
Are seeing crypto start to tick back up a little bit here. Ethereum nicely used the VWAP as solid support here. Going back at 109.320 or so.
A little bit more of a breakdown. Come on, McDonald's. Slip.
Okay, Steve, we've hit 10 o'clock. I know that you got to go here. What do you think? We just going to grind up a little bit like we saw yesterday? What kind of move are you expecting out of the market here?
What we're seeing right now all day long. This
choppy.
They're waiting for CPI numbers tomorrow. I have no doubt about it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, everybody at Quasar Markets, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you in the morning. Be safe trading out there, everybody.